gentlemen, here we are on Whirlwind, and down to the bottom right-hand corner, we have our pink Zerg player from the team Incredible Miracle. It is Bjol. And his opponent here in the upper left-hand corner, in the sunnier, nicer part of Whirlwind. The sun is always shining. It is MVP Dream. He is our blue Terran. He won the last game, trying to make it 2 in a row for his team. And what do you think? Are we going to see something really crazy over the top and cheesy for him, or is he just going to settle his nerves and say, all right, it's a big map, it's a Zerg player, I'm going to take him on one-on-one?
Yeah, I really think he's going to have to go that route. That's one of the reasons why they picked Whirlwind. Okay, well, he's not very good against Zerg players, and it's really hard to pull off cheesy tactics on this map. It's a 4-player map. There is the possibility that you're going to be cross-positioned. You might put down racks. If you go for 2 racks, you don't know where your opponent's going to be, so you have to put it in the middle of the map, and you still might not scout, so you have to play straight up. And it looks like Bjol's a little bit confident taking him here. I mean, Bjol actually used to be on Fnatic, actually, as you can tell by his title here. And he actually, I think it was an all-kill. Maybe an all-kill or a 4-kill, one of the two. He actually 4-killed IM. And so immediately afterwards, like, hey, you can come to our team, man. Got some money. Come on over, man.
I think that's how Katz from Root says that he actually scouts team members. I think we saw that in one of the contender division matches with the ridiculous OBS chat that was spamming the entire game. Thanks, guys. But they said that basically anyone who joins Root has beaten Katz on ladder, and that's how he recruits them. So, yeah.
Well, good for Theognis, man, because I'm glad that he got on that team. But yeah, Bjol's going to be opened up with a 15 hatchery here. It's pretty good in ZVT, but it's even better on this map. Yep. I would even argue that you can go for a quick third. We've seen Cats, actually, speaking of it, go for a 4th, actually, where this Overlord's at, and you're able to extend that creep, actually, before you even get a pull down. It's ridiculously awesome just how big this map is and how it allows you to go for really economic type of strategies. But that allows Dream as well to go for a command center first.
All right. Well, yep, Command Center first coming up. So the least surprising starts from these two players that I think I could imagine, as a pool does follow that up for Bjol. And what is that? Okay, it was a barracks popping up. I just saw a structure. I was like, no way, he's going for 3 Command Center before, which would be awesome. I think someone should try it, but
I would give him a handshake for sure.
I would not be surprised, though, if this just becomes, as we do see the single gas following this up, if this does become, you know, quick reactor Hellion into 3 base very, very fast, and we see pretty traditional play from there on out. In the back of my mind, though, I've got to believe that Dream is going to try something a little bit unconventional, even if it is of the 2 or 3 base variety.
Yeah. I agree. I think a 2-base play would be really strong on this map for him and try and kill off Bjol. I've seen Bjol die off a lot in a lot of mid-game strategies. He really loves Devil Evo Chamber builds. I mean, a lot of Zerg players do, but he seems to be going for it every single game. There's actually a really strong Marauder Hellion timing on this map that Bomber actually does that's really strong. You just walk straight in the natural, and you literally just kill off your opponent's natural, and they're just crippled from there. So we might see that from Dream. There's a strong possibility.
And Bjol, not actually going more and more common. Of course, we've been seeing like 345 third bases and stuff like that out of Zerg players, so not actually going to hit from him at all. He's actually going to sit back for a little bit longer on 2 bases, get a couple additional lings, get both of his queens, invest in his overlords, and sit back for a little while he pressures across the map. Go for that maybe 5-minute hatchery.
All right, well, 6 lings going straight to the middle of the map here. So he will know that his opponent is actually spawning on the opposite side. He sent both overlords, one to the right, one to the left, so knows he is there for sure. 6 lings really won't be able to do too much damage here, especially if he pulls the mules back. He might be able to snipe a mule, actually, because there is no bunker down quite yet. But should be able to handle this if Dream pays attention and pulls his SCVs right away.
And hopefully he gets a couple of Marines down there at the very least and see how much life these mules have left on them. Quite a bit, actually. So they're first to pull away, and already you could, I mean, that's, 50 to 100 resources as soon as you move that mule out of there. So, and these were pretty high health, so the mules are going to go stack on top of the minerals inside of the main, so they can at least use some of their advantage, but that actually almost paid for the Zerglings themselves, just denying those units.
Yeah, certainly did. And there's actually another SCV at the natural, so he can go and try and poke it down. Should try and layer it, though. Put 2 lings up there, 2 lings afterwards, and the 5th ling to kill it off. But the SCV's actually just going to go ahead and walk on by here. But nonetheless, production is still happening here for Dream, and he's actually followed up into his 3rd command center as well.
That's right.
We actually have no 3rd hatchery from Bjol yet.
He's done a pretty, I mean, he decided to go, 4 queens definitely, and I think he didn't go for 6. Yeah, okay, so just the 4 queen build, but he's delayed quite a long time with this hatchery. Even with the 4 queen build, you see like 5-5-15 when a 3rd hatchery pops up, so we're already a minute late. So a lot of the economic advantage he actually gained from denying those deals, he kind of just threw back in his opponent's favor.
Yeah, can we actually check out his drone count? I'm trying to see if he's oversaturated at all, because I'm just trying to figure out where all his resources are going into.
He's 48 now.
Okay, yeah, so, I mean, he's got a huge lead here, but again, that 3rd hatchery needs to go down a little bit earlier, because you're going to oversaturate your main and natural if you stay on drone. So with him going speed, I think he's just going to fall up into a really quick layer here, and then continue into droning right afterwards. That would be the most efficient way to go about this.
All right, well, third command center finishes up, and double the engineering base is already down for Dream, and he's pumping away with 1-1 upgrade, so going down that bio route and letting us know that very early. Lings try to circle back in and do some more damage, but nothing really to be had.
Oh, is that Leah yet? Oh.
Ooh, close though.
So close. Gross.
So brave.
Yeah, man. He's going to have it. But with, of course, this opening here, Buell is just going to move creep out across the middle of the field here. If this was Lacira, oh my gosh, did you watch his matches yesterday, by the way?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh, the creep spread was ridiculous from him. He was opening up with like 8 queens and just moving across the middle of the map. And now I'm just going to do that every single time I play on ladder.
His mechanics have always been awesome, though.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. The only person he lost against, actually, spoiler alert, guys, if you want to meet the stream, go ahead. He lost to Parting. He had an almost a really good hold against the Soul Train, man.
Yeah. I did see Parting tweet Soul Train.
Yeah.
So I was pretty happy about that.
As soon as he tweeted that, I actually thought about your soul meter. I'm like, we need to bring that back, man. He played really good against Ryung in ZBT. I think Ryung kind of a little bit, but nonetheless, it was still really good matches. Definitely check them out. 4 Hellions can sit aside the natural, but with these 2 queens here, just running around, it's going to be really hard for him to actually deny creep.
Right, but even if he doesn't deny creep, he's denied drone transfer so far.
That's true.
And there's only 1 drone at 9 minutes into the game on a 3rd base, when he's actually sitting on a total of 61 overall, which means his other bases are at totally max saturation. You can see, what's going on here, but that's way too many drones. He wants to be able to shift some of those over, and he just can't.
Well, that's unfortunate for him. Really wants to get those drones over there. He has a spine crawler outside the natural. It would help to actually move that spine crawler to the 3rd, because it's really hard for Terran players just to engage straight on a creep, and they don't really want to go straight in the natural unless they're looking for a straight-up scout. And for the most part, they'll leave the Hellions on the outside of the creep. So that's a little bit of a tip there. Take your spine crawler, put it down to the 3rd, and fear should keep your Hellions back, actually. Just keep an eye on it, at least. He does see the 3rd going down, though, and there is starting to be a hefty amount of units out for Dream. Going to start powering up very soon.
Yeah, Dream, I've got to say, he's playing with a lot of confidence. Now, of course, as soon as those Hellions moved away, that gave Buell the cue that he needed to start shifting those drones over, so everything's taken care of there. But Dream's playing, all right, I haven't harassed you. I'm not really planning to harass you. We're just going to play a straight-up game here. He's building a 2nd factory. He's going to go into double tank production here pretty soon. 2 upgrades are on the way, well ahead of his opponents. So really, Dream is not in all that bad of a spot now. How he manages engagements, we'll certainly find out here in just a bit. And he allows a big run-by of Zerglings, and that's going to hurt.
Yeah, this was hidden by Buell on the left side here at the 9 o'clock position of the minerals, so he just ran us straight in as soon as he saw the Hellions and Marines outside of his creep here. And with that creep being there, it slows down this push so much, so he's able just to churn out units. The good news here for Dream, though, is he does have +1/1 on those Marines, so they do a lot of damage very quickly here. Gotta be careful, though. Don't let those melee hits, and the flank buddy picks him up right away. But those Lings are still at his 3rd, just doing a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, and this is really rough. I mean, the amount of workers killed now is 11 to 0. And you want to be able to kill something as a Terran player. That's your one real advantage, is being able to harass. Otherwise, the economic game just gets so difficult.
Yeah, the map really just working here for Buell. Able to do aggression with the speed and mobility of his race here, and also able to slow down the push with just the creep moving out. It's so big. It's really hard for Dream to do any damage without fully committing. I do want to commend him, though, for actually committing for that attack. He didn't pull back. He didn't freak out when the lanes came in his 3rd. He knew he couldn't do anything, and he tried to make something happen. It just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, that could actually have been a lot worse for him, as bad as it already was.
Yeah.
So, but let's see here now. I mean, a couple of the queens were picked off, so there's only 5 on the map now for 3 hatcheries. I guess actually a 4th is popping up down here at the bottom left. Buell's still doing a nice job with his creep spread, despite the fact that some of it was stopped in the middle of the map for a while. Those active creep tumors killed off by Dream. But he's got a ton of Zerglings. This is the make a decent number of Mutalisks. This is annoying. This picks off tanks. This does damage, but then follow it up with just mass Ling Baneling afterwards.
Well, 2-2 is about to finish up for Dream. He does not want to engage until that 2-2 finishes up, and he has Siege Mode available. Siege Mode did just finish up. That's going to be helpful. Oh, careful here.
Except for he just lost his tanks to units that were inside of his main.
That is really unfortunate. And now, Buell just has the ability here to kind of just run over him. With those Mutas and the Ling support, it's really hard to focus down Mutas, because then they'll just die to Lings. These Marines being chased back, and now this 3rd is in a hefty amount of trouble. 44 Lings on the way here for Buell as well. He's going to reinforces. Yeah,
relatively fresh mules too, so finally a few Marines make their way in. A nice job with the SCVs to actually surround some of those Zerglings and allow the Marines to attack the Mutalisks as much as possible. And sadly, that's the best possible engagement he could have had, and this shows you how much stronger of a force that Buell had brought to this. As now he's going to surround the rest of the tanks, kills off the SCVs too, and that may be very close to all she wrote for Dream.
Oh, poor Dream. He's like, oh, I got this finally held. Oh no, Lings are killing all the Marines. And now Buell was able to keep the Mutas again, can kill off the SCVs. This is just looking a little bit on the worst side here for Dream as time goes by. Dream, he seems to have a problem with patience, waiting for things to line up for him, and he just loses the units, unfortunately. One siege tank is here, but Bailing's following up. The first siege tank tower did go off, so we'll have to wait a second here, and the Bailings do break through. Tons of Marines dying off immediately here. Mutas will have to retreat, but Lings do make it into the natural.
Oh, God, that last Bailing was actually fantastic. Killed 6 SCVs by itself, so very well done there. Dream is being overrun at his third. In fact, that command center is basically completely gone. He does have 4 command centers, so I mean, economic losses aren't the worst for him, but 100 supply deficit when you have no army on the field, that's game ending.
Look at those drones, man. Look at the harvesters. 79 to 32.
92 now.
92. Just going up, man. Let's go to 130 drones and just kill them with pure drones. Poor Dream here, man. Again, a small mistake is really costing the game here, and now he's lost his front wall to natural, so constant aggression will keep happening. He can't land this command center ever. His mutas are constantly still staying alive. We have Lings outside of the third as well, so he can possibly get a trap set up for those Marines if they do come to the open mutas. Buell's playing this really nicely. He's keeping up with the engagements while still macroing behind it.
Right. I mean, obviously he's later to his Hive and stuff as if he was just going straight for Tier 3 tech, but Hive's on the way. We know he's got that Spire done. Pathogen Glance is about to finish up, and our first Infestors are about to hit the field, so things looking really good for him.
Well, at this time, just going to be waiting for how to finish up, as mentioned by Kevin here. He's even moving into Burrow as well. Just going to go ahead and start moving into, most likely, it could be Ultralisk, actually. He's pretty far ahead. I'd like to see another base for him to move into Ultralisk.
Yeah.
But, of course, he does a Spire finished up, too, so he can go into Greater Spire. So it looks like Dream is finally stabilized, if you want to call it that. He's gotten his third up. He's gotten a couple of mules out. And he's got his army sitting outside the natural in third. But it's really hard. If there's one full-on engagement and he loses all his Marines, it's GG. He's just straight up done.
And look at this. We're about to see a 2-pronged attack here. He's going to duck in with these, pull units out of the way, and then crawl right to the front with Zerglings and Banelings. Or it looks like not many units have actually shifted back. The Mula should be able to deal with those, but good job by Dream not to completely bite on this and keeping units over at the third for that multi-pronged attack.
Yeah, that was pretty clever on Dream. The Siege Tank is in trouble, though. That will go down. Oh, the Marines, though, they come in for a little bit around, but nice evasive maneuvers here from BL will get away. But here come the Lings straight in behind. There are Bailings following up as well, but the Lings themselves can just deal with these Marines, and now the Muta's coming in as well. This has gotta be GG here for Dream. I feel like this is just dunsies.
And sadly, that wasn't even the best engagement that Biel could have gotten. I mean, Dream didn't bite on any of the trying to pull his units away or anything like that. And even with that, Biel was still going to crush his force.
And there goes the orbital, and now effectively we have Dream stuck on 2 bases. Still trying to keep up Marine production. Is moving in 2+3 attack as well. But I know 3/3 Marines are pretty good. They're really efficient. But they're not very efficient off 2 bases when you have no more minerals coming in and you only have a few left off. We have another base going up the top right corner for Buell, just moving forward, keeping that that lead that he has, even moving into the Ultralisk now. So again, that chitinous plating, moving into +3 armor at the same time, the Carapace here. So looks like Buell's going to go for just a hefty amount of Ultralisk and just break down the wall.
That's pretty much all he has to do, though. I mean, there is another command center that was just floated over to the third here. Tank was not sieged up yet, and it's actually going to die very quickly. The swarm of Zerglings is going to be enough with the fungal growth. There's GG. Dream is out of the game. Buell takes our second victory for Incredible Miracle.
Yeah, a couple of things there for Dream to increase his TVZ a little bit more. Patience is a huge. Let your upgrades finish up. Allow a couple of SCVs to die off, so you have the upgrade or the tech upgrade, if you will, the advantage in that regard. And also, he seems to really excel at engaging with small groups of units. We saw that in his TVP, where he has really good forces of units that do a lot of damage if he micros them, and you can't do that in TVZ as easily because Zerg has way more units and they're going to surround smaller patches. So. I don't know. Good game overall, though. Buell played really nice.
Yes, Buell did play very well, and Dream had some decent spots in there, even though the overall game didn't go his way. But we're kind of seeing the rock, paper, scissors as snipers get thrown out. Buell very good against Terran players, but we have a very good PvZer coming in next. It's going to be Vampire, and he's going to choose Entomb Valley. So we're going to run to a commercial break. We're going to throw it to our daily news segment, but when we come back, guys, it'll be game number 4 between Incredible Miracle and MVP.